What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I'm going to make this one a really quick one. Thought I'd pop on here and do an evening thing. I did one earlier today, guys. Anybody that caught that, I appreciate you guys stopping by. I actually had to delete that because it was crazy. There's a whole big story around that. I don't know exactly why they made me take it down. They were claiming some stupid copyright, this, that, or the other. But I'll tell you what I think it is here in just a second. But I do think that it had something to do with some of the stuff I was showing, because there's other stuff going on now with like what Dutch Sense was going through. He reported on, the wildfires and stuff yesterday, and that's what, I told everybody in my stream last night, that's where I got the information from, what I was showing you guys, and I'd never navigated that tool before. So, with that being said, I was going through there, and I seen an anomaly, and I'm like, what in the world is that thing? I was showing it to you guys. I didn't know what it was, but I didn't know Dutch had already done a second stream, and he caught the same anomaly, and he was explaining to everybody what it was. So with that being said, we're going to go over that just a little bit. Plus, we've got a pretty massive CME that popped off the sun that we're going to take a look at real quick. So just kind of hang in there. Does it sound okay with everybody? Just give me a thumbs up if it is. Want to make sure it's all right before I let's see here. I really didn't set any of this stuff up, guys, because I know that I'm just going to go to a few different things here. I'm going to try to keep it short. Alright, now, this is the Schumann. We'll go ahead and go through this real quick. Something I noticed with this, guys, obviously you guys see a couple different spikes here, and that is what it is. We've seen these before. Nothing really too much to be like writing home about. But here's the thing. We were quiet for like 3 days. Hardly any activity whatsoever. Right? There's a spike here and there. Now, we're under a spike right now. So if anybody's feeling ringing in their ears, headaches, and stuff like that, at least that could be what could be causing it. Now, we have to keep in mind that just because the resonance is actually acting up on this tool gets its readings from different locations over in Russia, or over on that side of the planet. So the frequency and the resonance could be a little different over here in the Western Hemisphere. So just because we're seeing it on this tool doesn't mean it's going to be global, but I would assume that it would change our frequency a little bit anyway, no matter where it was at on the planet. So you're going to get, whenever it spikes, it's probably going to spike at least a little bit everywhere. But this is more of a direct hit for people over there, I would think. And I'm calling it a direct hit. It's not really a hit. It's frequency. It's vibrating, right? So yeah. So you got this. Also, guys, if you guys see some activity going on down there in the chat, please let me know. I can't really see it right now. I got the chat pulled up, but I got it pulled up on my phone on while I'm doing this video. If you do, just tag my name and let me know what's going on. That way I can just get it out of there real quick. Just had a few little issues earlier today during when I was over on Scott's stream this morning after I streamed, and so yeah, there's some stuff going on over there that it is what it is. It's nothing that I'm like freaking out about or all upset or anything. It's just I don't want you guys to have to put up with a bunch of BS down there in the comment section. That's all. I could care less what's said about me. I don't really care about that. But as long as somebody else here is getting attacked, I don't really care. So with that being said, we're gonna just like I said, guys. But what I noticed right here, that anomaly Dutch and I seen, these things spiked. This spiked at that same time. Okay, if I'm correct on the time on this this tool here, and if I'm wrong, I apologize. I don't think I am though. This is not UTC. Okay, so I think there's like from where we were looking at and what the web page was showing, there was like a 5.5 hour difference, or a 4.5, something like that. And that would put this spike right here, right when that anomaly happened. I could be incorrect on that, okay? So don't like write that in stone. I don't really know. I need to ask her to tell you that exactly what the time frame is on this and all that. But so yeah, so that is what it is. Sig, what's up? You okay? But anyway, you said Mark, what's up, Sig? I don't, you know, you got something for me, man? If you do, let me know. Anyway, so we're going to move on from the Schumann here because we do got a big CME that popped off the sun, and it happened to pop off during the stream earlier today, and actually Scott showed it to you guys live as we were seeing it. So if anybody was able to catch that stream, yeah. So let's go over here. We're going to go to this one. Let's I guess we'll look at space weather real quick. Give you guys a little update. Now listen, our geomagnetic activity has been running extremely low, and that does not mean that we're not having, you know, issues. Okay, and I'm going to show you guys that. And actually, Scott even touched on that on his stream a little bit. If you guys see here, geomagnetic activity is in the basement still, so we are under some sort of a cosmic ray alert. I guarantee it. It's been multiple days now, so we got to pay attention to that. That could be, you know, radiation or whatever it is. That's what cosmic rays turn into. I showed you guys that graphic before. I guess I could show it to you again real quick because it is right here, I think. Let's see what I do with that thing. I think it's right here. Yeah, here it is. So if you guys see this, you know, cosmic rays come in, they hit our atmosphere, and then they turn into pions, okay? I know it sounds ridiculous, pion, and we all use that term as a negative thing. But then you got neutrinos. It splits into two, okay? Now, the half-life of these things, it has a half-life, guys. It takes a certain amount of time for these things to split and how long they survive or whatever, or how long they stay in that state. So when this pion, it splits into a neutrino and a muon, and then the muon is actually what we're more concerned with, because that's actually what gives us our health issues. Neutrinos, they'll go right through the planet. That's what they do. So that's why all this stuff, you know, when these cosmic rays hit, they just scatter too. The atmosphere just scatters them. So that's what happens here. And usually when we're getting hit with this stuff, we're not having too much activity from the sun. So these things kind of come in unabated. Other than what we can do for ourselves here with our magnetic field. But, you know, that's why the alerts get issued. So, I just wanted to point that out. But, so yeah. Let me, let's X out of that. Okay. So, anyway, we got this right here, right? So, we're going to go on down here. Now, here's the sun right now. This here doesn't show a whole lot. But what I want to draw you guys' attention to is right over here. You see this? This whole side of the sun is like erupting a lot, okay? We've had multiple CMEs, 2 or 3 of them in the past day on this side, on what would be called the east limb, and then we get this big one today, and I'll show it to you here in a second, because seeds finally updated, okay? It's been down for like 6 or 7 days, but Scott was able to catch it on Cactus, and it was... Yeah, and he's running it through all his equipment, his programming and stuff, his software, and so yeah, you remember? Well, anybody that caught my stream this morning, if you guys got a copy of that, please send it to me. I deleted it because I don't want to waste my memory and stuff. Usually I keep them, but for whatever reason, I deleted that stream, and then and I'll explain to you why that matters. Is because they went back and grayed out all that stuff I was showing you guys on the DuPage website. When I was showing you guys that anomaly on that satellite feed, they actually went in there and changed everything. They grayed it out. And it's right after Dutch had reported on it. I had too. Well, my video was up, and I was showing everybody about it. Now they went back and changed all the data, or just grayed it out and took it away. So it's, yeah, guys. Why would they do that? Who knows? It does look like some sort of an energy beam that pointed right at those wildfires, and I'll show it to you here in a second. But what you're seeing here, guys, you see over here on the bottom right, you see this little uptick in velocity. That is probably from that CME, Okay, we're going to take a look at the CME tracker. I haven't looked at it here in a few minutes. Last time I looked, it hadn't updated yet. So we will take a look at that real quick. Hopefully it updated. Yep, it did. Okay. Well, no, it didn't. Let's see. Are you kidding me? Man. You know, it might have updated, showed it, and then updated again. We might have had another small one here. But what we're looking at there, it looks like that one there, that's the one that blew off the left side. Okay? On that view I was showing you, it does look like we may catch a glancing blow from that. You guys can look at it with me right here. Okay? If you look here, that's a top-down view, right? And you can kind of see how it spreads out as it leaves the sun. You can see how that energy, some of it does look like it clips the planet, right? You go over here and look at the side view. This is looking at it from the side. And the same thing. It looks like it's going to clip us. But when all three of these show it hitting us, like this over here. Let's see if I can't zoom in just a little bit more. Right here. You see how that distortion right there in between us and stereo A, which is what that red box is. Okay, you see that happening. It's going to hit the. It does look like we may catch a glancing, a little slight blow from that. Now, that is not this big one I'm getting ready to show you. I guarantee you that, because it's going off the other side. And I'll tell you why I think that one might hit us here in just a second. I do think that we're going to have to be paying attention to this, because the size of this thing I'm getting ready to show you is substantial. Okay. You know what? Instead of just talking about it, I'm just going to show it to you guys. I don't know what the heck I'm doing here. Yeah, I didn't set any of this up, so I do apologize for that. Let's see here. Let's get into seeds here. See how seeds is updated now? If you guys ever come over here and these boxes are white or if they're gray, that means there's no data at all. They have nothing for you to see. If they're blue, that means you clicked on the link already. If they're purple, that means they got data there that you haven't looked at yet. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to start here on the 6th, because I want to show you guys how active this stuff has been. And mind you, we've had no sunspots facing us. So this is why I have an issue with how they say how active the sun is, and the only way they judge that is by the sunspots that are facing the planet, facing us. So when we start seeing activity outside of that, you got to wonder, guys. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's like, why don't they do that? Why don't they take in consideration other things? Now, I know you're trying to do the sun cycle, and that's all they're trying to do is say, hey, the sun cycle started on this day, and, you know, we're going into the new one here. I get that. But at the same time, it is kind of misleading in the fact when you hear somebody say solar minimum, you kind of think that there's no activity, right? But that's not the case. Solar minimum just simply means we're in that section of the solar cycle with hardly any sunspots facing us. Now it should equal out to a less active sun, but sometimes it doesn't. Okay? And that's what I'm kind of saying here. So I hope you guys understand that part. But I'm going to zoom in here. We see this right here. This is the one we really like to look at, guys. Okay, you know that because we can go to Cactus and kind of see the same thing, but it is way more pixelated. Soho here, not Soho, but Lasco C2 on this Seeds website is so much more higher definition, not so pixelated. So let's go to the next day. And we got this one. Okay, now the 6th, there wasn't a whole lot of going on. Now, look, just pay attention, guys. We were getting CMEs here and here, right? We're talking 1 or 2 every day or every other day. So, this would be the 7th, okay? Now, pay attention here, guys. This is where it starts getting active, all right? Now, look. Watch this big flash. It's going to happen right about, well, right there. You see that? There wasn't a whole lot of flashing, but you see this one here? That fired off, right? That's on the left side. Well, here we are going on this side at the same time. Look, boom, boom. And if you look at the top, let me show you up here. This is, some people don't look at this because we don't typically get a whole lot of activity up here. But you see this right here? There's a big gray rectangle they put in there. Why? Because this camera will, when it sees something like that it thinks is really bright, it will gray it out. So something bright happened there, and it looked like we might have got, you know, a little bit of an ejection. But you can see this right here. You know, guys, these are substantial CMEs. These are not little babies. Okay. Now these are the ones that aren't really hitting us. Now this one here is probably the one the CME tracker is showing us. All right. But let me show you the next one, because that's the one that Scott showed during his live stream, and now we have all the data in on it. And yeah, let's just take a look at it. Okay. So there you go. Now I'm gonna zoom in here a little bit more so you guys can get a better look. Yeah, so that is a substantial CME. Now, is it coming at us? That's the very next question. It's usually the first question we ask. You know, and Scott did see something in here, and he kind of showed it to you guys in his live stream, and he's running it through the programming and stuff, the software, to try to figure out, you know, what exactly is there and all that. But what you're seeing here, guys, you can see how just the size of it. All right, and I also want to point out that this is actually a couple different ejections. Okay, you're going to see a little bit of a push, like 3 different times. There's the initial, there's another one, there's another one. Okay, so we're looking at 2 or 3 little like blasts here that, you know, one of them is the second one that happened looked to be moving faster than the first. Okay, so when that happens, you can actually get what they call an interplanetary magnetic shock wave. So when solar wind or whatever material is coming off the sun catches up with slower moving material in front of it, their electromagnetic fields will interact with each other, and it will cause it an interplanetary magnetic shock wave. They actually caught this past year, and they showed it, and I showed it to you guys when they did. You know, is it a big deal? No, but all it does is it does add a little bit of extra oomph to whatever's going on. If that shock wave happens at the point when it reaches our magnetosphere, it will give us a harder hit. Okay, but it, you know, I don't know if it's substantial enough to really be concerned with it, but it's just something that we really, you know, we need to be aware of, is what I'm kind of saying here. So we'll go over here, and if you look here, you can see, you know, when I first seen it, this is all I had, because I was over at ISWA, right? I was over here on the red view. So when I texted that over to Scott or put it in the chat during the stream, we didn't have any of this to look at. So he had the state of mind, and he went over and looked at cactus, which I should have done. I didn't do that because I just wanted him to see it before he got off the stream so he could show it to you guys. And so, yeah, this is all we had. Now, this is the difference, guys. This is the difference of views that we get. This is why we do like this one over here way better. You can clearly see that this is, you know, way better as far as definition. You see so much more on that one than what you do here. And, you know, so, you know, we take a lot of heat for, like, you know, putting a filter on something or anything like that. Well, let me point something out here. Everything you're looking at right here, without us even touching it, has got a filter on it. Everything. The cameras themselves. It takes the data and it interprets it that way, right? It's not a snapshot from a camera. It's not your naked eye. It's none of that stuff. This is all digital information. And, you know, you can put any filter you want on this, and what they're going to do is, the reason why they do that is so they can see different gases. That's it. They you know, so because you don't see it in one angstrom doesn't mean it ain't there. It could be showing up on the other. So that's why we do that. That's the only reason. It clears things up. It gets rid of all the background noise, if you guys really want to put it that way. That's a very simplistic way to put it, but that's actually, you know, it's a good way to understand it. So anyway, so is everything going okay there in the chat, guys? Somebody give me a yes or no, or if there's any issues, I'll look at the thing here real quick, see if you guys are having any issues down there. I don't really see any issues that going on here. How's the stream? Is it actually streaming okay for you guys? Hope so. Alright, cool. Thanks, guys. Guys, I will be adding some mods. If you guys are interested in doing that, email me at bluecool52@gmail.com. bluecool52@gmail.com. And if I, like I said, I'll try to give it to people that have been around the longest, and that way I kind of trust people that way. I'm going to give them their dues, that kind of thing. I'll probably just add a couple at first. I don't want to have a bunch because when that happens, sometimes things do happen or whatever. And, I've seen on lots of other channels, you'll have like a rogue mod that'll go crazy and start deleting people just because they got mad at the channel user or whatever. So I want to kind of avoid that. So I'm only going to have a few at the time. But, yeah. So I just wanted to show you guys that. So let's go back here to this one. So here's that. So the next question, right, guys, is it coming at us? Now remember that, this is from our perspective we're looking at. This satellite sits out in front of the Earth about 1 million miles closer to the sun. It's on SOHO, all right? We have SOHO and we have SDO that sit out in front of us. So we're going to go look from the side. We're going to go look from the left side to see if it, we can kind of get a direction. Now when it's blowing off this way, we don't know if it's blowing straight off, if it's actually coming at an angle like this, or if it's going at an angle like that. So this thing could be blowing way off towards the back, or this way, or it could be going directly to the side and miss us altogether, okay? And that's why we got to look at different perspectives. But I can tell you just by observing this just for a second, just my eye kind of catches this now because I've looked at it for so long. It does look like it's coming at least at an angle this way. Okay, so we're going to go look at stereo A real quick. Let me see if I can't back out of that. It's going to make me click back through all that. Okay, there we go. Stereo A is right here. So we're going to click on that, and yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. This is, the Earth is about over here. Okay, stereo A is over here, obviously looking at the sun. So here's that big CME. So what's that mean for us? Well, I can't say 100% that it's going to give us a hit because we won't know until the CME tracker updates. But judging by those two, this is the side view and it now looks like it's going to the right? So again, just like on this one and the one I showed you a minute ago, it could be going this way, that way, or directly to the side. So we know that it's not going this way because on the other one, the view I just showed you, it looked like it was going to the right. Correct? So that kind of eliminates anything on this side. So all it can be doing is either coming right at us or in between us. You don't have to come right at us, but it could be coming our direction or it could be actually, going this way. Right? It's not going to go off the back. In other words, it's coming on our side of the sun. And it's coming in this quarter right here. So judging by those two, I'm going to have to say that we have a pretty significant chance of that thing actually giving us a blow of some sort. And again, sometimes that doesn't pan out like that. All right, I'm going to point that out too because that is important to note because we can't say 100% like I said, and even sometimes the CME tracker is wrong. Heck, it was wrong the other day. We were talking about a CME that was going to give us a glancing blow, and it missed us completely. So, but we were talking about a glancing blow, not a direct hit. So, the margin of error there is kind of large a little bit sometimes. But anyway, here's that CME, right? And it does give you kind of a better view on this red one here on stereo A. Now, we don't show you guys use stereo A a whole lot for showing you guys things because see how highly pixelated this thing is? It's hard to see any kind of detail at all. You can see the big block pixels in there. It's nuts. Anyway, so what are we going to do here? Now, again, so what does that mean? Does that mean it's coming at us? I don't know, guys. I really don't. But I can tell you that judging by this one and by C's Lasco C2 up here, it does look that it could be coming at least halfway in our direction. That's what I'll say. Okay. But as soon as the CME tracker updates, we'll try to take a look at that. Is this the CME? Yeah, here's the CME tracker. Let's update it, see if it did anything yet. Nope. So, yeah. So this one you're seeing here that's popped off is that one that was going off, looked like it was going to the left of us on seeds, right? It's this one over here. Okay, let me back up a day because that's when it started. That's the one it's showing us. Okay, how do I know that? Well, look at the date up here. It's the 7th. Okay, so we'll go up here to the CME tracker, and if you go up here to the timestamp, it starts on the 7th. See that? Top left up here. So whenever it doesn't show you anything until the moment it sees a CME. So whatever happened on the 7th is what this is showing you. So this has not showed us the one that happened to us just now on the big one. And I do find it interesting. This is something we've been noticing, guys. Check this out. And I know that a lot of people probably aren't even going to, you know, kind of look at this the way that we are right here. But this is a conversation that we've been having, at least in the background, me and Scott. I think we've kind of talked about it a little bit on air. This is a Parker SP. Okay? That CME that just blew off, guys, is right here. It's blowing off this direction. And see how fast that thing's kind of moving? It's not moving like lightning speed or anything, but it does. This thing just hung out over here for a few days and didn't even move. So why is it now in a position a day before a CME happens, right where the CME is going on? This has happened more than once. So are they trying to see what's inside the CME? Are they trying to get this thing in front of CMEs? What's going on here? I don't really know, but that is an observation that we need to be aware of, because if you notice, the other satellites are just kind of hanging out. And you know, this one here is the one that moves a lot, and that's what it's supposed to do. I will say, this is the one that's supposed to kiss the sun. It gets real close and gives us good readings and stuff, good data. So it would make sense that they're trying to get this into a CME, but how would they know prior that it needed to be in that position? Because you don't know when a CME is going to happen. You know, so what if some of the objects we're talking about here are inducing these CMEs, and they know where these things are at, so it's kind of pulling that satellite that direction. They're doing it on purpose. Now, I'm not saying that's 100% what's happening. I'm just saying that's just something we've been thinking about. So, anyway, you got the seeds here. Now, so what we're going to do now, guys, we are going to go over here to DuPage and check out this stuff that, where is the DuPage? I had a shortcut here. Well, you know what? Before we do that, I will take you guys over to SDO. Okay, we're going to take a look at the sun itself as it's blowing those CMEs. So we're going to go to the 7th to the 8th. We're going to look at the 171 right now. We're going to take it to the different resolution here. You guys can change that too. If you guys just want to see not so many images, it'll take it back further, but you only get to see an image however many, right? So you put that in 1 right there. It's what I always do, so you see the most that you can see as far as frame rate, and hit submit. Okay, so here's SDO, if it's going to give us anything. Man, I hope that's just a loading issue. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, well, you see the slide bar moving. So let's see what happens. Okay, sometimes it does that, guys. Sometimes it takes a minute for it to go ahead and show the imaging. So what we're looking at here is the 171 angstrom. And again, you know, we had one blow off over here on the 7th, but the biggest one was over here. And what really drew my attention, look over here, guys. This whole side of the sun is just, man, it's just really active. Look at it. Let me zoom in a little bit more. We're just going to go head on this thing here, guys. We're going to see if we can't really zoom in here a little bit. Why did I do that? Huh. That was kind of crazy. Anyway, let's back off and see if I can't fix that. Oh, is it going to do that to me? Really? I know what I can do. Let's do this. Yeah, there we go. Okay, right in here. See all that action? Look at that, guys. Look at this stuff just blowing off, right? Now remember this, I showed you guys this little down here a little bit on my last live stream, right here. And, you know, the back, it looked like a C signature. We see that quite a bit. But look at that thing blow. Bam. And that was like the second or third time it did it. So watch this one little area. Wham. That's 1, 2 right there. And then you see all the stuff comes in this direction. I mean, guys, this is like like a quarter of the sun right here that is like reacting to something, or it's having some big CME right here that's, you know, it's just doing it. But let me point something out here, guys. There's no sunspots. None. So we can't always look to the sunspot number to see how active things are. We can't always do that. All it's doing is telling us when the sun cycle is. That's it. Now I will say this: around sunspots, the chances of having something happen is greater, a lot greater actually. Okay, but this just shows everybody that we can have activity outside of sunspots and major activity, because that's what we're seeing on this side, this side. Why we're not really seeing a whole lot right in front of us, because I just don't get that myself either. Sometimes we do get stuff. Obviously, we take a hit, but you know, we haven't seen a whole lot coming right out in front of us. We've had filaments up here, you know, blow off and all that kind of thing, and I showed that to you guys before. You're seeing little pops. Those little pops aren't really much of anything. Most of that energy just gets recaptured by the sun anyway. What we look for is the gases here to escape in the plasma, right? See all that over there? That really is just crazy. That's just a lot of activity, guys. It's a decent amount, is what I'm going to say here. So, yeah. So as we got that, so I will take you guys over to DuPage here real quick. Let's just need to find a stupid shortcut. Google Chrome. Where the heck did that stupid thing go? There it is. Okay, this is what was showing us the wildfires. Now I did this in my stream earlier today, the one I had to pull down because of this. And let me explain. There was an anomaly that showed up here, guys, that Dutch Sense picked up on, and so did I. And he posted a video, and I guess I did shortly thereafter. He did, but they went back and doctored the imaging after that. Okay, so. This is Go 16, all right? This is goes east right here. And this is just cloud cover right now. And I'm just toggling through time. So you can see where the sun is, right? This is visible. So we're going to go down regional here. And we're going to go over here because this is where we're going to talk about quite a bit of stuff here. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to go ahead and change the... We're going to go to the infrared shortwave. Now again, guys, I don't navigate this tool very much. This is like the third or fourth time I've ever been here. So if I make a mistake on showing you guys something here, I apologize. But I'm going to do my best here and try to do what I can here. So this is in the infrared spectrum, okay? So these black spots you're seeing are actually fires. So, I'll tell you what, let me try to see if I can't. Let's go into subregions. Let's go up here. Okay, that's a little bit better, right? Now look at this, okay? These are significant, guys. And we had a dust storm too that popped up over there yesterday, and it was blowing through here at the same time all this stuff was going on. So I'm going to grab this slide bar, and you can kind of see what the activity and how it progressed. You see how there's hardly anything here right now, but look. That thing grows into something big rather quick. Okay? So as we go through here, now you guys see that? Oh my gosh, I wonder if anybody's seen that one yet. That's a different one, guys. That came from the other direction. Huh? What time was that? Well, that's when that's that initial glitch. Okay? So I don't know if that's something that they made a mistake and didn't fix or whatever. But we seen that right there, okay? So what's going on here with that? That's a funky looking little signature, right? So let's go look at it in a different view here. Let's go to natural color. and see what happens. Alright, there's the sun went down. Now, look, you guys see the fires? See the red right here? I know it's kind of hard to see, but it's there. Those are the wildfires that's going on there. Okay, you see that little right there? That shouldn't be happening, okay? Because the sun is already set. Okay, you see how dark it is for however many hours? And then we get this little glitch like this. So what's going on here, right? What time is that? That's right around 9 UTC on the 8th. So we got that going on, and something I noticed here, there were some striations going through the whole picture. Now that could just be whatever. I mean, I get it, okay? I do. But at the same time, it just doesn't look normal to me, okay? We get this glitch, the sun comes back up. Watch. Did we get two there? There, and then there. Look at that. We got two of them. Bam, bam. So, you know what, guys? The Schumann reacted just like that, about 2 hours apart. Huh. We got two spikes about the same time difference around itself. And let me show you. See these right here? Did the Schumann react to something? You guys make up your mind on that one. I don't really have a whole lot of 100% answer there for you. But we're getting two separate, that little glitch there, and then this glitch. See it getting bright? So, and again, Dutch was theorizing about the energy wave, a shot of energy. And what he was speaking about is was like right facing from like the North Pole region down to where these wildfires are. So let's I'll tell you what, let's go back into this and let's try to look at a different. Okay, that might give us a different view here. I just don't know what, that's some sort of a, I have a hard time thinking that that's something that's just a glitch. That's all. It's the camera's seeing light there somehow. But it's in the middle of the night, guys, so I don't know what's going on there. And it does, those two little small glitches, the Schumann is reacting. Okay? Sorry about that. The Schumann is reacting, it looks like, to whatever's going on there. But yeah, so I guess I'll take you guys down. Let's go localized. Let's do this because I want you guys to be able to see what I wanted to show you here. Remember, guys, in the northern hemisphere, low pressures, they rotate counterclockwise, right? That's their natural movement. So if anything is going to rotate any other direction, it really has to be kind of powerful, It has to be pretty strong is what I'm saying. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't ever happen, because it most certainly does, alright? But what I am saying is that the chances of that happening are a little bit, not that great. So let me take this over here. Yeah, we're already past the time frame. It's already gone, what I've seen. I think, anyway. Yeah, it is. Daggone it. Maybe I'll look for it later. I'm not going to really too much worry about that because it's not really all that big of a deal. But again, guys, I'm sorry I don't know this tool that well, but I did want to show that to you because I'll tell you what we can do real quick, because I want you guys to see the extent of these wildfires and what's going on here. Let's go to that view there. So you can actually see smoke and stuff come off these things, guys. See this one here? Look at that. See how, just look at that one. That one is turned into a beast. Okay, then you get all these other ones breaking out at the same time. This is like, just a few hours ago up to present. Okay, so they're experiencing some decent stuff out here, guys. This is something that is, yeah. And you can also see here where the lower level winds are rotating a different direction than the winds are blowing above them. Because look at the cloud base here. When I move the slider, it's going to be going clockwise, and this smoke from the wildfires is going against that direction because it's, I guess, it looks like it's probably at a higher elevation. So watch what this does. See? So yeah, and I found this little section here kind of interesting too. That was just kind of a strange looking little anomaly there too. Maybe it's just seeing what's below it because the smoke is kind of thin. That's probably what that is. But you can see here, guys, where all these wildfires are going on. So let's take it down here a notch. Now this will give us a good view here. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty impressive stuff. Now Dutch made a comment saying that he had never really had to report on something this significant as far as wildfires, dust storms, and everything else, and quakes going on all at the same time. He actually made that comment in his video. But if you look at this, it's like going down the coast. Let's check it, the one just to the south. Now, again, guys, we all know that they get typical wildfires anyway. But it does look like there's, I mean, if you drew a line down the coast there, you here, and then you go here, and you start seeing a bunch of small ones again. See all these little small ones right here? I'm going to see if I can't. Yeah, look at these little small ones right here. I mean, that's some significant wildfires, guys. Just so you know. But yeah, guys, I don't know this tool very well, so I do apologize. I'm going to try to learn it and get better at looking at this thing. So I don't want to say anything's definite, but when I see stuff on these, let's go back to the infrared real quick, and let's just look down here on this particular view, and let's see if we can't catch. See the black again there, guys? Those are wildfires. Okay, and there's that glitch again. But I just showed it to you on the other view where it happened twice, right? So, but also up here, let me show you this real quick. Like when I looked at this view here, you could see little ripples. We used to see these on the other view we used to get from Go 16. We used to see these what looked to be like shots or waves going across the whole planet, directional. And obviously we were talking about, energy directed whatever. I'm not going to go into saying those words because it'll just smack the crap out of the stream. But I do think this is why they wouldn't. They actually made me pull down that video, because some of the stuff I seen on my video I showed you guys in my live stream earlier today is no longer there. So, yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I haven't really been paying much attention to the chat. I do apologize. Is there anything going on in there? No, that's a good question, Ricky. Does the time correspond with that CME with that glitch? No, it doesn't. Not to mention that a CME, guys, it takes it 3 to 4, sometimes 5 days to get here. So stuff that we're seeing coming off the sun CME wise right now would not even be here until 4 or 5 days later. Typically around 4. So yeah, that is a good question though. Now remember, a flare will be here in less than 8, right around 8 minutes. It's moving basically at the speed of light, okay? It's here and gone. Now the subsequent energy behind it actually will follow it days later, but the initial blast from a solar flare is here and gone before we can even talk about it. So, but anyway, yeah, guys. If you guys got any questions, go ahead and pop them up in there. I guess we'll go over here to the tool here and see what if there's anything else I really wanted to show you guys. I may pop on a little bit later on tonight, guys, but I wanted to come in on during the evening. I actually was trying to get a hold of Scott, and he hasn't. I think he fell asleep or something. We were going to try to do a stream together, but he's been like extremely busy anyway. So that is what it is, you know. Now here's spaceweather.com. I take you guys here a lot. Here's those noctilucent clouds, and I'm going to take you guys down here. I'm going to show you guys this. Okay, here I'll just give you an update on the near Earth objects, which is NEOs. Now what you're looking at right here in the middle is the mist distance, and they measure that by lunar distance, the distance between us and the sun. Not the sun, us and the moon, sorry. So there's really nothing coming real close for a good, decent amount of time. They're not really saying we're going to see, well, you know, right here, today and tomorrow. That's 4.9 and 3.3. So at 4.9, you would have to travel to the moon that distance, do that 5 times away from the Earth, and that's how close that one came. So they're calling it near Earth objects because they're taking in consideration the vastness of space altogether. So if you really think about the distance we're talking about here, that's actually quite a good ways, guys. It's not like it's not like barely skimming past. You know, the one we talked about the other day that they didn't even see, that broke the record of coming so close to us and not entering our atmosphere. That one they missed. At least they told us they missed it, but you know, we always question whether or not that's the case. They probably knew it was there, and they didn't know exactly what was going to happen and all that. Now also, guys, I think I would be not really telling you guys my complete point of view if I didn't say stuff like what I'm getting ready to say. I do think that if you know, I get questions a lot. How does space weather have anything to do with geopolitical stuff? You know, stuff that's going on here on the planet, like, you know, between parties, this, that, and the other, right? I do think it all plays together. When we start seeing all this stuff happen all at once, you know, something is a distraction for something. That's pretty much what it all boils down to. You know, whatever the actual truth is, which is what we're trying to find, there's going to be an opposite to that they're trying to push. Okay? Because I do think that any kind of like catastrophic stuff that could be coming at any point in time, and I'm not saying anything is right now, that's not what I'm saying. But I do think if they knew something like that was going to happen, I don't think we'd know about it. That's all. That's all I would have to say. Rick Sanchez, Seeds is back up. I just showed you guys that. And I'll take you guys back over to there real quick so you guys can see it again. There it is. That's on the 7th, though. We'll go ahead and go to the 8th. So here's the most, like I said, here's the most updated pic from this, or capture, I should say. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit more. We'll just do this and give you guys a good look at this. I'll tell you what, one more. Let's do it. Okay, there we go. So, yeah. So you guys got any more questions before I get off here, guys? Yeah. So you guys seeing that, right? I mean, that's a decent size CME. And again, I just showed you guys how I kind of decide whether or not it's going to hit us or not, or my opinion on that. Now, again, the telltale will be when this one, when yeah, what am I trying to say here? Is this it? Yeah, the CME tracker. Okay, when this thing finally updates, right now it's just showing us what happened on the 7th. Okay, it always, again, this thing will update when it sees something, and that's the first image you will see. So you'll see in right there the 7th. So whatever happened on the 7th, that's what this is showing. It hasn't shown us what happened there on the 8th. Okay. So so anyway, guys. Oh, thank you, Debbie. Good to see you guys. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it is most definitely something. Yeah, the scrubbing of all the data. How many days before it hits us? If it is going to come at us, True News. if it is going to come at us, it would probably be, you know, there's a rough estimate we can kind of give it. I kind of fall back to 4 days because that's kind of in the middle. If something's moving really fast, it could get here in 3. If it's moving slower, typically it's 5. Will that affect how strong something is? It can. But we're finding more and more that the density of everything is kind of more impactful to what we see on our magnetosphere than what the actual speed of the solar wind is moving at. So then they both matter, but how much do they matter? I guess would be the next question there. I'll tell you what, I can take you guys down here. Here, like I said, here's the Enlil, and again, here's the A-stat. I didn't show you guys this, but you can see where everything just kind of got consistently quiet. Okay, nothing's fluctuating, which is actually kind of strange. Usually we see stuff fluctuating, you know, up, down, everywhere, right? And we got this right here. That's the solar wind speed in the yellow, and you're not seeing any kind of what I call popcorn, where it's going from high to low in a very short amount of time. And you got the green line here, which is temperature. Now here's the one, like I said, guys, is more important to me than most anything else we've been looking at. And I've been saying this since I started doing my channel, guys. It's just an observation that I made. Seriously, it's as simple as that. I don't have a whole lot of, you know, like I said, but then they come out with peer-reviewed papers just a few months ago talking about how density does play a major factor in the hits we take. So to kind of put that in perspective, it's like if somebody took a baseball, I don't want to use baseball, let's use a wiffle ball. Somebody took a wiffle ball and threw it at you and hit you in the gut, going what, 15 miles an hour, right? It's going to hurt just a little bit, right? It's not going to, like, oh my gosh, bring you to your knees. Well, you take a bowling ball and you throw it at me 15 miles an hour and hit me in the same spot, I'm taking a trip to the hospital, right? So that's kind of what we're talking about here. So when we go low density moving at the same speed, it's not going to affect us as much as a high dense object, or not object, but high dense material, particles, that are moving at that same exact speed. So that's why density, in my opinion, does hit us a lot harder. It seems also, guys, remember that when these things travel, let's see if I can't give you a visual on that. Where's that at? I guess this is good enough to use. Here's the sun, right here where my cursor is. And here's the earth. So in order for solar wind to get here, it has to have a road to go on, right? So we got an IMF line, interplanetary magnetic field lines. That's what connects us to the sun and other celestial objects. Okay, so that we're always connected, right? When the solar wind or whatever, the charged particles leave the sun, they have to follow that road. They have to stay on that road. So the higher dense ones will stay closer to the middle. Okay? So that actually even pinpoints it even more than just the sheer mass of it, right? The higher density is enough to really give you a little bit more extra issue, but then you're cramming more of it in a smaller area, and it's like pinpointing it. Because low density particles, when they come off the sun, they're actually, you know, they're spiraling, but they're spiraling further out than what the high density does on that road. So it would be like if you're traveling down a road, you're going down the center line, right? If you're high density. Well, if you're low density, you're off in the ditch. Okay? That's kind of what I'm saying. So yeah. But yeah. So anyway, guys, you guys, I'm sorry, I didn't even look at the chat again yet. I'm trying to like concentrate on this because I really wanted to get this information out to you, and get it out to you in a way that I wasn't being distracted. So you guys got anything for me here? 3 days of darkness coming, maybe, yeah, maybe. California is saying they're taking off ham radio signals. Wow. You know, we do know that space weather does affect radio propagation. That's one of the main things we look at when we're talking about taking hits from, you know, or getting energy from sunspots. Shortwave ham radio operators love sunspots because it adds that energy that they need those particles that they need to propagate their signal. Now, who uses ham radio operators? I know I get that question a lot. Who uses ham radios? Well, there's a whole system set up, guys. You know, individuals have them. The main thing is our first responders, they typically use that to communicate. Okay? So when you're seeing and hearing all that stuff, why do sunspots matter, this, that, and the other? Well, that's why. That's one of the reasons. So, you know, we want some sunspot stuff, guys. We cannot stay in the basement all the time. Because if we do, let me get off of this and I'll show you. If we do, well, look at Lasco C3 here, guys. Look at that. Now, the C2, which is this one right. Nope. This one. This is Lasco C2. Okay? Let me zoom back out a little bit and I'll show you what I mean. So do you see the difference between the zoom levels in these cameras? Okay, it's the same view. This is Lasco C2. Well, this one is Lasco C3. So let me zoom that back out. Okay, you see how it's giving you a wider view of looking at the sun? So this here is that same CME, but this is how big it is. So, you know, I just want to show you guys the difference in views because I get asked that question quite a bit. I know I'm flipping around here. Again, I didn't set up for this. I just wanted to get this out to you guys. So, yeah, guys. Again, is this thing going to hit us? Don't know. And I know that if you go back and watch Scott's stream earlier today, you'll see where he spotted that right away. It does take quite a few amount of time to run the software he has on that stuff. Okay, it takes quite a bit of memory and things, power from his CPU. So, you know, it happened. And here's the thing, guys, it happened right away. When I said, hey, go look at Lasco C2, he went and pulled it up live right in front of you guys and showed you what that was looking like, you know. So there was no, you could see it without any kind of filters or anything else. So, you know, also, I want to explain this too. We got asked a question about, well, I did anyway. You know, say the object was right there where it's actually where he's seen it. Why does it look like it got bigger as it went through? Well, first off, what we're looking at here, guys, we're looking at a time lapse. This isn't video. This is one capture every, like, I think it's 6 or 12 minutes or something. Let me see. It says 1436 to 1448. Okay, so we're looking every 12 minutes we get one still shot. It says if you went outside and took a picture of your house from the street, waited 12 minutes, and took the same picture again. And you do that over and over and over again. But what happened in those 12 minutes? You're never going to know because you had to wait, right? That's why it's a big deal about a time lapse versus video. Also, what you're seeing here when we're showing you these objects, this is what we theorize, and you know, this is when the plasma comes off the sun from a CME, it hits this object, right? Or if it gets pulled off from our object or whatever, it lights it up. Okay, we're seeing that light is what we're seeing for the most part. We're seeing the plasma there, and then once it hits the object or whatever, it keeps moving. So it kind of holds its shape, but it will, you know, get bigger as it goes on through, as it goes on further away. You know, it's like if you throw a rock in a pond and you get the waves around it, right? It starts off real small, but as it gets further and further away, it's growing. That's the exact same thing that happens when these CMEs hit our object. So it'll take that shape right away, and then it'll, bam, it goes right on off into space. So that's just what I think, okay? You know, obviously listen guys, I value everybody's opinion, I really do. You know, I don't ever degrade anybody or do this or that unless they're attacking, you know, people. And then I just usually I just ignore it. But, everybody can have their own opinion. Seriously. I'm not going to be mad at anybody for telling me their opinion at all. And I'm just going to show you what I think it is, and then I'm going to move on. You know, it's like that. It's not really anything else. I just want to show you guys what I think is what's going on. And I try to do it the best I can. I try to do my due diligence as far as the research I do. And when I don't think that I know exactly what I'm looking at, like for instance, this, okay, I'm telling you straight up, listen, I've never really navigated this tool. If you want to know better information on this, go look at the people that have got experience with this. I don't want to lead people the wrong way when it comes to that at all, ever. So yeah, so there's those wildfires again. But yeah, anyway guys, I don't know guys, I know I just went through a whole bunch of stuff really quick, but I did want to get that out to you. And hopefully you guys are liking these live streams. I do like the communication and stuff end of it, but I am going to go ahead and end this one here guys. I hope everybody has a great day, great rest of the week. I'll try to come back on probably maybe later on tonight, maybe. I doubt it. I'm just going to say that right up. I doubt if we're going to see another another video from me tonight. You could, if something actually happens or something, I could pop on, but it would be like really late. So yeah, so check this out. Go over and check out Scott and his channel over there with the Planet X News. He's got a lot of good live streams and stuff over there, talking about this object we just seen and lots of other stuff, guys. So go check him out over there if you haven't. And here, guys, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate each and every one of you guys. I never thought that I would have over 40,000 subs. It really blows my mind, and it humbles me to the point where it's like, I don't understand, how, I don't know. I just don't want to go too deep into that. It just, yeah, it really means a lot to me, guys. I've been asked what's the goal of my channel. Well, the goal of my channel is just to show everybody the truth. That's it. Whatever that truth may be, I try to keep an open mind as much as I can. As you guys know, I don't monetize. I don't do this, that's why I didn't start doing this for that reason. I've not monetized. I've not done anything, like I said before. It actually does cost me a little bit of money to do this. I just don't do anything with it. I mean, I'm not complaining. Don't think that, okay? So I know people got it way worse than me. So I'm just saying that because I want you guys to understand where I'm coming from. I hope that, there's not very many YouTubers out there that can say that they got over 100,000 subs with no monetization. I'd like to, be one of those guys if I could one of these days, because I would show the world a lot that, sometimes it's just about the information and about how much we care about each other. Now, I know people ask me all the time, once you start a Patreon and do Teespring and stuff like that. I've not said I wouldn't do that. I may in the future, because, guys, I could use that too, just like everybody else. I got a family, and I may do that. But one thing I will promise you guys, this channel right here that you're looking at will never ever be monetized, because I won't do it. You're not going to come here and look at ads or any of that kind of stuff. I'm not going to do that. If I decide to do something like a Patreon or something, the content on this channel will not change. I will just try to do something, add to that Patreon or whatever that I can, give a little extra whatever. This may be a preview of what I'm doing. That's a long subject for another day, but I just want you guys to be comfortable in the fact to know that I'm not going to ever change what I do as far as my content here, no matter what else happens. And again, I don't really have any plans to do a Patreon or anything like that right now. Like I said, I may in the future. Who knows? Again, like I said before, I'm repeating myself again, but we all of us could use it, right? And that's why I don't do that here. I don't want this to be inundated by anything. So I try to keep it as pure as I can, and so yeah, guys. Anyway, there's other private network sites out there too. Scott's on Subscribestar. That's the one he does. Guys, you should go over there to that too. It's like $5 a month, and he does put, because he doesn't get censored over there. Okay, that's one good thing about it, guys. There ain't no censorship over there, so he can say and do any kind of information that he wants. That is the only advantage that has, really, to what we do here. So, alright guys, God bless. Yahusha saves, and yeah, you can drink this Kool-Aid.